Hey everybody, and welcome back. Today we are talking about fiber. So we are talking specifically about what is fiber, how much fiber do you need, and why do you need fiber. Okay, so firstly, fiber is found in vegetables, fruits, and whole grain cereals. So basically, fiber comes from plants. So fiber is the undigestible compound basically that you find in plants, and it will pass relatively undigested through the digestive tract. Fiber is mainly a carbohydrate, and the main role is to keep your digestive tract healthy. So fiber, other words that you'll hear that are used for fiber, maybe something like bulk or roughage, and it's basically just the same thing. There are two types of fibers. You get soluble and insoluble fiber. Now, soluble fiber is typically something that when you put it in liquid, it soaks up that liquid and becomes soft and sticky. Oats is a very good example. If you've left a bowl of oats standing outside for a while, you will know what it's like, because if you turn that bowl over, it won't even fall out. It's become so sticky because it's pulled up all that liquid. Insoluble fiber is things like nuts, seeds, bran, which wouldn't necessarily change form when it's put in liquid. So both of those are needed, and we want a diet that's high in both. And luckily, most plants and vegetables specifically will also have a mixture of both in them. All right, so as mentioned previously, dietary fiber is relatively indigestible. It adds bulk to the stools, and that is what helps to keep the digestive system healthy, but it's also necessary for other things. It helps to lower cholesterol because it binds, and it helps that you don't actually absorb cholesterol from the foods that you eat. It helps to stabilize your blood glucose levels, because if you eat whole grain cereals or starches that have more fiber in it, because fiber is so difficult to digest, basically what happens is it's just an extra obstacle that your body has to go through before it can actually get to those glucose molecules. And for that reason, it doesn't cause a quick spike in glucose, but actually more of a sustained energy. And then lastly, it can also help to reduce risk of other conditions, things like cancers, specifically colon cancer, heart diseases. All of these are also impacted by the fiber that we eat. Now, something that's very important to know is short-chain fatty acids are also produced in the colon via the gut bacteria that we have there, and it's only produced from fiber. So short-chain fatty acids are basically compounds that are made when our bacteria in our guts ferment on the fiber that is in the colon. It is the main source of energy for the cells that lines the colon. Short-chain fatty acids are involved in important metabolism of carbohydrates and fats as well. And about 95% of the short-chain fatty acids that we have in our bodies are either acetate, propionate, or butyrate. All right, so propionate is mainly involved in producing glucose in the liver and the small intestines. Acetate is important for energy production and synthesis of lipids. And then butyrate is the preferred energy source for that lining of the colon. So there are many factors that also influence the amount and the type of short-chain fatty acids that we produce in the colon. And that would be what the source is, so the foods that we eat, the amount and the type of microorganisms and bacteria that we have in our colons, and then also the time that it takes to move through, the time that the fiber takes to move through the digestive tract. So I think you understand what fiber is and why it's necessary, but now we want to know how much. Okay, so generally the guideline is that for men, 30 grams of fiber a day is enough, and for women, 25. But for myself, I usually try to aim between 25 to 30 grams. Just to keep everything nice and healthy. And then what I also try to do is I try to get my fiber from different sources. So my aim generally is to try and have 40 different types of plants in my diet per week. Ways that I do this is I will, for instance, make salads, or I'll have mixed vegetables or mixed beans, just try to get my variety up. And the reason for this is when I have more variety, firstly, more color in the diet, I get more minerals, I get more vitamins, but then also more types of fibers that also help to produce more different types of short chain fatty acids, and obviously have other benefits in the colon and in the rest of the gut as well. So as mentioned, fiber is extremely important for our health and for our digestive tract. But since fiber is basically undigestible and it's our gut bacteria that ferments on it and helps to break it down, fiber can either contribute or help lessen the symptoms that we have. If you are very constipated or have lots of diarrhea, we can help to treat that with the type of fibers that we bring into your diet or the type of fibers that we bring out of your diet. And the reason for this is that, for instance, fresh fruits and vegetables may have more fiber that's more difficult to break down because they're still hard and fresh. But once we have cooked down our veggies or cooked even down some of our fruits, those fibers become nice and soft, okay? And they're just more easy to digest. Something that you may realize is that you may be very bloated after eating a salad. Firstly, it's because we have all the vegetables in there nice and fresh, which is great, but those fibers are difficult to digest, and it does take a little bit longer for that bacteria to break it down. And for that reason, it will cause a little bit more fermentation and therefore a little bit more bloat. And the other thing about a salad, just a side note, is that we do tend to swallow a lot of air while eating salads. So having some bloatedness after eating a salad is completely normal. It does not take anything away from how healthy a salad can be, but it is something to be mindful of. So just be aware that even though fiber is extremely healthy for us, it can either help lessen our symptoms, or it can even contribute to it. If you do have lots of gut symptoms, please talk to one of our coaches or reach out to your dietitian, and we will help you and we can give you specific guidance or guidelines in terms of the types of fibers that you may want to eat at this point, or maybe what you want to avoid. Please reach out if you have any more questions about fiber or what it may do in the body or what effect it may have on you specifically. And I am looking forward to hearing from you, and I hope you've learned from this video. Have a fantastic day. Bye-bye.